Hello, welcome to All Systems Go. I'm Abby, the dungeon master for this D&D 5e campaign named Humblewood. Um, we're all playing again as per usual, as you do. And this week, everybody's going to introduce themselves as they always do. And the question of the week is, how does your character prefer to be comforted when they're upset? Sarah, you get to go first. Don't forget to popcorn other people.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah. I play Mungojerry Corriefeather, the bard, the illustrious bard of the group. Um, Mungojerry not only has a passion for song and dance, but also a passion for tea. So he loves to be comforted with a cup of tea. It's usually not as good as when he makes it, but it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I feel like any sort of food or like warm beverage gesture is appreciated, but like if it's a cup of tea, especially a tea that he doesn't have, it's like chef's kiss. Um
He doesn't have some tea. He doesn't have
I mean,
all of the tea.
sometimes he finishes like his favorite tea, like the jasmine that goes real fast. Pour stays around for a long time. You don't want pour out. You don't want pour every day. Boba gone in a flash. But you know, the some just stick around. So yeah, popcorn, Logan.
Hello, I'm Logan. I play Bohuckle Corriefeather, the esteemed nephew of Mungojerry.
Illustrious nephew.
Illuminous nephew. um, how do I like to be comforted? Well, not to just copy everything that Sarah just said, but I would imagine he likes to be comforted with, I don't know, someone that he knows. In this case, it would be Mungojerry. Like, I assume would give him a cup of tea, and that's like, I don't know, the only nice thing that's happened to him in the last couple weeks. So that's probably what he likes at the moment. Maybe if they supplemented it with a nice like bowl of barley porridge, and just I don't know, played a nice song, but his home song. That's not a word. A song that reminds him of home. That's the word.
The national anthem.
Yeah, the national anthem of Ashborough. It's called
Home
what?
The sovereign
heaven,
state of
A-
Ashborough.
Ashborough.
That's well. Popcorn Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Rutherford, the Vulpin rogue. He is I think the thing that comforts him the most is the solemn acknowledgement of somebody else of like, ah yes, that sounds difficult. Anywho, carry on. Just stiff upper lip and all that.
Really a stoic master over here.
Perhaps a nod, a single tear, and then go about your daily drudgery. Popcorn Sean.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sean. I play Ori Whitewing, a resident Strig fighter and wildman and drunkard, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But for comfort, Ori actually prefers to connect back with the forest and the great trees that house this land. And he will often seclude himself basically as far up as he can go into some of the deep forest and the deep trees to sort of get away from everything and almost like meditate a little bit and kind of commune once again with the world that surrounds him.
Very nice. Connor, what happened last time?
So we went and had a wonderful conversation with a particularly militaristic toucan. Went to, I think it was a set piece from Game of Thrones where you have a jail cell that just overlooks a cliff. Except in this case, you're standing on the bars. Got some very, very useless information out of Tina and
Iggy.
Iggy. Thank you. I was gonna say Lizzie. Yeah,
I can't believe you forgot her name.
I can't believe I forgot Iggy's name either. I didn't black out
Don't
at
forget
all for
Bob.
that. But Bob wasn't there. We're not
And
gonna
the
worry
7
about Bob.
children.
So we got nothing out of them, and then we kind of fucked around looking for this owl that we had heard about. Just this poor little puffball of a Strig named Rowan? Something like that.
Riffin.
Yeah.
Riffin.
Riffin.
I'm great with names. So we found him, and he was like, "Yeah, it sounds like you're dealing with some stuff. I'm gonna go find my friend first, because I don't want to help you or be a useful NPC." So we looked for his friend with him, couldn't find him after sending out all of our children messenger army to go and search the tree high and low. Came back with the conclusion that he's gone, and then left. So now we're gonna go fight some bandits, and it's gonna be like the first half of Lord of the Rings. Just walk, 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 walk.
Mungojerry will sing the Lord of the Rings theme song.
Very good. Yeah, you do. You
Ori will
walk
play the part of Aragorn. He'll toss apples behind him as he goes for second breakfast.
You walk, 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 and 5 days into your journey, your 5 days go
Well, it's
uneventfully.
very fast walking.
Yep, it's great. You do the normal stuff. You rest on the side of the road, and there's the every now and then traveler that passes by, but nobody that you particularly recognize or want to talk to. And in your 5th day of travel, you see the mountain range, which is called the Crest Mountains. The jagged slopes of the crest tower before you. Their peaks are obscured by clouds. There is but a single path ahead. The daunting ascent of the mountain looks to be the only way to reach the summit, and the bandit stronghold that you know is up there. And you carry on your way up the mountain. So, how are you approaching this? So you know the bandit stronghold is like 2 days up the mountain, based on the intel that you got from the mice. Are you doing anything special or just following the path?
Ori would definitely want to try and find a different path.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably not super familiar with this area. I don't think he generally goes in the mountains. He stays more in the forest, but he's a well-traveled owl, so I think he would be on the lookout for any sort of game trails. And maybe there are mountain goats, and see if there's certain goat paths that they can follow, because heading to a stronghold head on from one path is basically a death sentence, without maybe some good magics to provide some cover.
Okay.
So
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I have the bandit routes feature, and it specifically says the roads of the wood, but it's a capital W. So is that like the Humblewood and its surrounding areas?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So does that help with traversing this mountain, or have we left our jurisdiction?
I think the point is that you are leaving the road, so you would not know that it wouldn't help with that. But if you're trying to navigate roads that are actually roads,
Well, here, let me. As someone who once assisted in countless highway robberies, you are familiar with the roads of the wood and escape paths used by bandits. When you are not in combat, you can travel between locations that cut through areas twice as fast as your speed would normally allow.
Okay, yeah. So
Oh.
if you're both looking for options, both make survival checks, and then Rutherford, you make it with advantage.
Okay.
Well, that,
Yep,
I
yeah.
mean,
No need to
I'll
roll, Sean.
just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the
Not
critical
bad.
22, I think.
Cool. Yeah. So Rutherford, you do find um a like fast track path that maybe you used in a previous life.
Mhm.
And Ori, I think, like Rutherford's tracking through, and you end up finding a game trail that kind of shortcuts it even further. So working together, you both are able to like stay off the main road. Um, you find a way that like near the end of the first day of travel, it reconnects to the main road. And you can find a safe place to camp. Camp out, and then when you wake up in the morning, you'll need to make the same checks again to kind of re-find the trail.
Okay.
Okay.
Here comes the 1. 8. Close enough.
6. Oh my gosh.
Sean, no.
I also have the ability find another path.
What does that
Since
do?
I'm grounded. Since you have lived your life close to the ground, you're familiar with undergrowth in the same way that bird folk are with the canopy. You can always recall layout and terrain while traveling the forest floor. If your path is blocked, you can always find a way around as long as such a path exists. I can find shelter, blah, 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 safe shelter. And I can always locate a place for us to stay, I guess. So if, like, finding another path, I guess I was interpreting that as, like, we wouldn't have to take the road. We could take some path through the undergrowth that, like, I could lead us through if I use that.
Okay.
Instead of using, like, the bandit path, I'm like, oh, we don't need a bandit path. Like, I can knowing how the trees are or how the land lies, I could, direct us there.
Okay. Rutherford actually got a 16 because he has advantage on this from his thing.
Still.
Which is plenty, but the same thing happens today. So Rutherford like finds a little like side bandit path that they use to like, I don't know, hitch all of their trap things and like get it down to the road and organize everything. And they usually take that instead of the road, and then they get people on the road. And then when that comes to like ahead, maybe there's like sounds of a patrol ahead that you can hear coming down the road or something. Mungojerry like takes the lead and like dodges into the undergrowth, and everybody follows. And you're able to work your way around a patrol. I guess it's like, I don't know, 5 people on this patrol that you almost run into. If you want to interact with that at all, but if not, you just carry on your way past them.
I mean, I
Do we
think.
want to ambush them?
Well, I think if they don't come back, they'll know something's wrong.
Yes, but maybe they have. Do they seem like they have signature armor? Like, isn't there a sigil or something for the bandits?
There is a sigil. I think most of them. I don't think their armor is necessary. Their armor is kind of like, I don't know, secondhand salvage, like whatever they can get their hands
Yeah.
on. But maybe, I imagine some of them have like bandanas that have been dyed with the bandit sigil like sketched out on them.
Are they talking at
Okay.
all? Are they, like, gossiping?
Not really. Not gossiping. Maybe they're like, and they're not just casual chatting. They're like doing business work.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
seem like Tina and Iggy or
No.
like the last bunch of Mapachs we ran into. Okay.
Those poor sweet souls. Yeah. Well, Ori's kind of just like, I mean, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get in. So I don't know what our cover is, but I don't think we can brute force our way through an entire fortress.
We can ambush them and take their armor.
I mean, are
We
they
could take their
conveniently
sigil.
2 Gallus, a Strig, and a Vulpin among them?
No, it's
What would you know?
3 Mapach and 2 Gerbine.
Oh darn.
Well, we could always disguise ourselves as Iggy and Tina. We'll go in that way.
I've been dying to play the role of Tina this whole time.
I don't think we need the armor. It doesn't look like much.
Okay, I mean, we can see if we can find something else along the way then. Maybe there's a back entrance into the fortress too.
One of us can be Bob. Isn't Bob? What's Bob? Illuma?
Mhm.
None of us look like Lumas.
I could pass as a Luma. I have some Luma on my mom's side.
Just gotta just lift down the feathers a little bit.
Yeah, sure, got a small.
Get rid of the rooster waddle. Tuck
we-
that in real
Yeah,
quick.
Bobby pin.
We'll give it, we get like a high collared shirt.
Does never look better.
We get you a fake little beak like the boar in there. It's great.
So I think probably a useful thing would be to track this bandit trail and like use that to get us to the fortress, but not engage with them in any way other than that.
They're moving away, right?
Yeah.
Or okay.
We can just follow their old tracks though, right?
Yeah. Are
That's
there
the
old tracks?
same-
Is that the main road though?
No, they're not taking the road. They're on the
Oh.
bandit trail that you were already taking.
That we've
and
been
then you
following,
heard them
okay.
coming down, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just keep on that and maybe try and cover our tracks a little better so they don't see our movement.
Sure, make a, I don't know, survival check or stealth check.
Okie dokie.
Wow. Look.
Perfect. Great. Yeah, between the two of you, you're
Wow.
able to kind of cover the traces of your passing. And with, I mean, based on the bandits you've interacted with in the past, you think just doing the bare minimum is probably good enough, but you
We-
do a little bit more than that.
We picked up
Just
our
imagine, like,
signs
it's-
that said we went this way. And then that was enough.
Right. 101 Dalmatians, we're like brushing out the snow tracks with the branch behind us. Brushing out our little dirt tracks.
And then near the end of your second day of travel, coming up on this bandit trail, it kind of opens back up to the main road-ish, and through that like gap in the trees, through some mist that's setting in as the sun begins to set, you see a pair of great stone towers that loom on the horizon. As you approach, you notice that they are connected to a squat and sturdy fortress which stands in lone vigil among the crags. A few distant shapes can be seen patrolling the parapets, and banners with the crest of the bandit coalition hang proudly from the walls. Just to give you an idea of what the fortress looks like from the outside, it has 100-foot high stone walls, and then you can see guard posts that are like stationed along the perimeter. So it has parapets, and then it has like little like posts, and you can see as the sun sets further, like people walking with torches and patrolling the wall.
It's a big
What
building.
do they
your
think is
casual
coming for them?
bandit coalition?
Yeah, how did they afford this sort of massive undertaking? They've got a structural engineer on the inside. Okay.
Remind me.
Wow.
So we're going here to talk to Benna and
Talk.
stop the bandits.
Talk.
Bandits, yeah. I mean, stop
Interact
the
with her
bandits is
vocal
our
cords.
mission. Yeah. Okay. We don't
Yeah,
see.
I mean, do we
do
think she'll fight an honor duel?
1v4 honor duel.
Yeah, it's got to be fair.
What if we poison her? What if we become servants and work our way from the bottom to the top? And we
No
poison
bird
her.
folk here, my lord.
Does it seem like the castle is well populated, the fortress, or is it like being guarded by a skeleton crew?
It seems like it's fairly well populated.
Okay.
You said, I feel like we heard mention from Iggy or Tina that there are not a lot of bird folk, but there
Correct.
are some.
Yes.
How many bird folk can we see, and do we see someone who seems like they would be Bob?
I think from the distance that you are, you can see. So there's the 100-foot wall. That's quite intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also two entrances that you can see. One is a single, like, massive wooden door that's behind an iron portcullis. And then to the side of that, like, I don't know, that's in the middle of the wall from the front. And then off to the side, there's like a normal sized door. And there's two Mapachs that are standing guard outside of that. Like, one of them is holding a torch and the other one is holding like a spear. And they're just hanging out, and you can see like that shift kind of rotates if over like a couple hours. On top of the wall, you just can see figures. I don't think you can identify who or what they are.
Well, I think somebody ordered entertainment for the bandit feast.
I think
We could try.
Certainly
we could also
feels...
be official parlayers from the council, the bird council. It's the other quickest way to get to her.
I see that certainly being a risky option. I think it's a quick way to be strung up and hung from that portcullis. Announce ourselves as emissaries, and I don't see that being well received.
I mean, I think we
I bring
can...
out the fake beak. Somebody can be Bob.
I do think deception is a good way for all of us to get inside, but we certainly can't fight this entire group, and somebody will ask questions sooner or later if there's 4 of us traipsing around inside.
No, I mean, is this a very large thing? Like,
it's 100
4
feet tall.
people. 4 people. Like, I feel like 4 people's nothing. Like, they're not even gonna notice 4 extra people.
It's not. I mean, I think the main issue is that you really don't look like bandits. Like, you're, I think, significantly more well off than a lot of the bandits. And the bandits are like 99% humble folk. So all of the bird folk will have issues.
I have in my kit 2 costumes.
Uh-huh.
Can that be anything I want? Like, how? I guess I haven't.
Yeah, if you just have 2 costumes,
before.
you can. You have to. Once you use them, you define what they are, and they can't change from that.
Okay. And then I have disguise kit.
Yeah, and that's like makeup, so you can make people look, and makeup and glue and whatever.
Simple prosthetic noses and whatever else.
Yeah. So, Mungo is like, I can. He's like, it's finally time. We can. He like shakes out costume, and he's got like bandit costume 1, bandit costume 2. And then he's like, "Oh, Rutherford, you already look perfect. There's nothing we need to just." And he like
kind of snarl at you a little bit.
He's gonna like rub dirt in your face. you know, he'll like be like, put this on. Oh, this will be great. And I guess for Bohuckle and Ori, I guess he could make one of you look like Bob, if you want.
What if we sneak in and then we let Ori, because Ori's very stealthy, so we could just like
Let Ori in.
sneak Ori in somehow. Like he could, I don't know, climb a
Put him in
100-foot
a
tree
barrel?
and then glide to the top of the wall like a raptor. Or you could put him in a barrel.
This barrel right here.
What?
Conveniently located.
You do not have a barrel.
Convenient.
I have carpenter's
Convenient
tools. That's
there.
second best thing.
You could make a
I
barrel.
have brewer's tools.
Between the two of them, we've
Oh,
got
I
a
could be
cooper.
drinking
It's
in the
great.
barrel. Perfect.
Yeah, but
Never
think
mind.
we
I
could
like
put
this
them as
plan.
tea brewing tools.
Damn
Oh.
it.
Alternatively, we could come disguised as someone who's captured an emissary from the city.
True.
Ori
Could Rutherford have
being the
captured us?
Maybe not all three of us, because that seems like a little lopsided security detail-wise. But like, it might even the odds if instead of 3 bird folk, it's 1 bird folk in disguise, another actual bird folk, and then you are captured bird folk. They might like that a little more.
I mean, I can do the disguise spell, so I can make myself
Oh.
look like whoever I want.
Even better. We have Mungo look like another humble folk.
Yeah,
A
I'm
servant
not-
and
two
says, "Everybody
captured
go
bird
home."
folk.
I look like Benna. I don't know what. I think I have to know what Benna looks
You
like.
do.
In order to...
We
That is
sneak
the
you in.
only
and
flaw.
You look like Benna. Then you walk up as Benna to the front door and say, "Everyone, get out of here."
Get out.
We found a
been
better
tricked
castle
this whole
over
time.
there.
Ugh.
That Benna is fake, and I'm the real Benna.
You know,
Okay,
if only that worked every time.
I do like that idea. Bohuckle, what's the best way we can disguise you as a bandit? You look a little proper right now.
I'll like flip my little thing to the other side.
Yeah, that did it.
Wait, I have an eye patch here. Here.
Oh.
Put that eye patch on. Now, here, wait, you need to walk with a limp. And but Mungojerry will, like, put a stone in your shoe or something.
Perfect. Now I look a little like lopsided.
Mhm. It's just given this the sniff test. Does he look like the Bandit Coalition would accept this Gallus, who is obviously a bird, as being a bandit?
Probably not as being a bandit, but maybe as being a recruit.
A recruit who's much better equipped than most of them.
Mhm.
Because the problem is that since there's so few bird folk, they pretty much know them all.
Mm.
Like Bob is probably like a fucking living legend.
Bob, living legend.
I mean, with that personal story, I assume he probably is.
They know all the drama about Bob.
I do
There's-
think that bringing in birds under the bandit flag is going to be suspicious. So, Mungo, what if you and I have captured Ori and Bohuckle?
As if we could ever capture the two of us.
I kick
That's
you
what I
in the
was
foot.
saying,
That
but
was the
people didn't
worst
listen.
sound.
Yes. I think the issue might have been 1 fox and 3 hens, but I think that 2 and
Look
2 is a
over.
little bit.
You look over and I'm a Mapach now.
You have to stand up and you have to have your hands out.
Little grippy hands.
Sarah, I will say keep in mind it's an hour-long duration for that spell.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, that was for dramatic effect, but
Mhm,
when,
mhm. Yeah. Okay.
whenever we go.
Mhm. Let me make sure I don't have any spells that could help here. No, absolutely not. Ooh, or I could. Ah, perfect. This goes up 120 feet. That's 20 feet above the wall.
That's
I
taller
could
than a castle.
look and see what's on the inside, if we so care to learn.
I think we do care to learn. That's very valuable.
It's nighttime right now.
Yeah.
Problem is, I'm not going to see anything because it's nighttime.
So we could just wait until the morning.
Okay. Or is it better to come
Yeah.
in at nighttime when it's dark?
It's better to come in at night when there's less people probably
I think
up and about.
entering at night but scout during the day is the best way to go about this.
Well, we're not on a time limit, so unless they all march on their way to to take over the capital.
There's 10,000 orcs in there.
10,000 Mapach intervenes, waiting, filled with rage.
Filled with rage.
Okay, so I vote sneaky camp tonight, tomorrow scouting, tomorrow night infiltrate.
Sounds good. We can also try and take notes on the guard changes and
Yep.
see if there's any other information we can glean.
Ori, you
Maybe
and
we
I can
are
sneak
about to have
up
a
and
festival
get
soon.
closer and like try and get like actual good lines of sight on things. Yeah, I think this will be good.
Okay. What are you all actually doing? What's the plans?
I will cast Elevated Sight right now to make sure we're not missing. They have a giant war machine that's about to be done right inside the walls that we don't see.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
to make sure there's nothing that looks super time pressing on the other side of those walls.
Okay, you cast Elevated Sight. You can see, behind the perimeter of the wall, the fortress opens into a square, 120 foot by 120 foot inner courtyard, consisting of various buildings. And there's, like, you can see people kind of, I mean, not a ton of people, but some people milling about, going between the buildings. And there's no giant war machine that's being finished.
Perfect.
And there's no, like, army about to march.
Amazing.
And
Okay.
it
Chained
all
dragon.
seems fine.
Okay. So this is just a big cube.
I was
It's
gonna say the
100 by
same thing.
120 by 120. Okay.
It's very
Simply-
slightly less than a cube.
Okay. We have time then.
There's also, I guess, a fairly well lit double door, like, wooden palisade on the, like, far side of the courtyard that you can see, and it, like, looks like it just goes into the mountain.
So we could come around the
So-
back.
No, like,
Back of the mountain.
The back of the
Yeah.
mountain, yeah. But the like cube is against the mountain, and then the doors open into presumably mountain cave or
Just-
something,
Just a solid wall.
or that.
It's actually just a broom
Trick
closet.
door.
Is there
Okay.
any place that looks like the head honcho's office?
I
Probably
don't
the
think
well
you
lit
can
double
see.
palisade.
Okay.
Nothing. No doors have like antler holes cut into them.
No.
Okay.
Or signs with antlers. This
A normal sized door and then a taller door next to it.
Okay. I feel like we are not using the costumes. Then it sounds like if we're pretending to have captured.
Well, they're still not determined to be bandits. Costumes.
So I guess unless Rutherford, you want a bandit costume. Okay. Then
Unless you want
Mungojerry
to dress
will-
me up in some fancy livery to be a.
That's
be
what I was
some
gonna
sort
say.
of-
Do we have like an emissary's costume maybe in that bag of tricks?
Like, you
Oh,
pull out the costume and it's just like constantly changing. And
It's a quantum costume
It
at the
is.
moment.
It's Schrodinger's costume.
It's a big box with a question mark on it.
Just
Um,
like Eliza's stuff, you ask, are you an emissary costume right now? Can I please have that? And your wish is its command.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to be an emissary? Do you want an emissary costume, Ori? I feel like I saw what guards looked like while we were in Humblewood, so I could have fashioned a costume like that.
Yeah.
I found Gingerbeak particularly inspiring, and I said I want to play him in a
future
So now you
future
just
production.
have an admiral's coat.
Oh.
Yeah, I think an emissary maybe doesn't make sense, but if I was like a forward scout or something of the guard.
Well, so then what's our story once we've gotten inside?
I feel like you have to be important enough that Benna, we have to
Yes.
take this one to Benna.
Yes, I agree.
Oh. Well, I just have to let you know I'm not very good at lying to people.
That's
Don't
fine.
worry, I'll do all the talking. You just open your mouth and then I'll fill in the sentence.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
I think as prisoners, if you are not the important one, you won't be asked to speak much. So maybe Bohuckle is the emissary and you are the emissary's bodyguard.
Yeah, that works.
I'm quite good at talking.
You certainly do it a lot. I would hope you're okay at it by now.
I'm not.
All right, so I'll use both the costumes. One for Bohuckle to be an emissary, kind of higher up guard. I saw the badgie thing that Rutherford used, and I quickly make a copy of the badgie thing, so you get like a somewhat official looking badge for you, Bohuckle, and then Ori, you just get like a generic guardsman's outfit, so that you guys look like you went on a double scout mission together. And I put away the disguise question.
philosophical question.
You also
yes.
attack someone with a dagger.
Are bandits commoners?
Oh, I did not mean to do that.
No,
They don't come from
I
the
mean-
ranks of commoners.
they do come from the ranks of commoners, but by the time that they achieve the rank bandit, they are no
Your
longer
status of
commoners.
bandit.
You're no longer dude in public square. You're
Um,
organized and militant.
They have
Fair.
some modicum of training.
Ruffian extraordinaire.
I can only wonder what that philosophical question was about.
Because commoners love to let me hide amongst them.
But do radicalized terrorists?
Probably not.
We could make the argument that they are pretty common at where we are right now, so thus they
No.
are.
They are the most common.
They're more common than your average populace. That is true. So they are the commoners of the area.
The census income for this tract, though, is extremely low, and I don't know what that's about. It's like there's all these people, but nobody's reporting income.
All right, Mungojerry will also watch the guards and see just like who they are and what they look like, so that he can make himself a disguise when he casts the spell. And I think he'll try and time it so that he's like a person who left on like the last patrol. So he'll like be watching when patrols leave, and like whatever the last patrol to leave was, he wants to be somebody from that patrol. So it makes sense when he comes back with prisoners.
Yep. Sounds good.
Does that risk them recognizing us? Like, oh, hey, Frank, you're back. Oh, and then you have to all of a sudden be Frank, and now there's more holes. If you're just, a bandit, you
I
can
am
be
Frank.
anybody. Okay, if you're comfortable with yourself being Frank.
Either way, doesn't matter to me. Either way.
Being a real person seems better.
Okay.
Okay,
Then you have
I'll be
someone who
frank.
could vouch for you, and then we have the risk of running into that person, and both of those are better options.
They're more fun options.
Mhm.
That's the real answer.
They lead to more fun. Okay, cool.
So, clarifying question. Who
This
do
isn't
you
clear
want?
to you?
No. You want the only guards you can see are the ones guarding the door. And those ones go back into the fortress when they quit their jobs. Okay. So you want to be one of them that's presumably gone back into the fortress on the outside of the fortress.
Aren't we taking? We're taking like a day.
What we're looking for is a scouting party that leaves, right?
Mhm.
You got 10 dudes who go off to go bring a wagon full of bombs to somewhere. Hiding as one of those bomb
Okay.
people.
Yeah. So like I'm assuming the patrols might leave from that door too. So
Yes,
I
they
want to
do.
be not the guards, but one
Okay,
of the
I understand.
patrols.
Okay. Does anybody else have information that they want to get over, whatever time period you're doing this?
I could make a barrel quietly in the
Could
woods.
you
I
make
don't think a barrel
barrel?
helps us.
I don't know. A barrel's full of possibilities.
Does a barrel ever hurt?
Ooh, I know what I'll make. I'll make us like little, like a plank with like handholds that are like handcuffs, like essentially stocks, but like smaller and mobile.
Mhm.
And then I'll make it so that like we can actually take our hands out of them if we so chose.
They're
They're like
breakaway
stage.
stocks. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's better than the rope I was going to use. I like that.
Yeah. So I'll spend the day making that.
Yeah. Make a
Carpenter's tools.
check
With
with dexterity.
can I guidance myself?
Not for this because it takes longer than.
Can he
Whatever.
guidance himself every
You
6
take
seconds?
a break every minute.
Wow.
I'm so glad you
Nine.
have advantage on that roll, right, Logan?
9 is not enough to make it with all the functionality you want. You can either have it be so you can take your hands out, but it's not all that convincing, or you can have it be that it is difficult to take your hands out.
Not that convincing.
Okay.
We gotta really make up a show and have them not look at our hands. So just constantly keep talking and moving your
Just
hands
constantly
around.
move your hands around.
It's like a plank with circular holes in it, and you have to hold your hands like wide. So that
Yeah, so they don't. Yeah.
We have a genetic
Like
disorder.
this.
Rutherford, I feel like we're gonna need an official document of some kind from the emissary. Do you think you can help me? We can write one up.
Yes, I don't think that's a problem at all. I was going to suggest that somebody work on the cover story while I get closer to the building and scout and see exactly what we're dealing with up close, but I can write that.
I guess Mungojerry just wants like official terminology. You know, like what would such a document from, since you are the government employee, what would such an emissary's note sound like?
I mean, I could. Here's the thing: I don't have like a forgery kit or anything, so I can make a note, but it's not going to be like, oh yeah, the council wrote that. If somebody actually inspected it.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking this is along the lines of we just need this to wave in people's faces.
It's
Not like
another document. It's another thing that you move too quickly for people to look at too
Like,
closely.
like, look, here it is. It's a thing and it's true. It's less about it actually standing up under inspection, because I feel like this is just to get us in. like this ploy is just to like get us in and get us to Benna. Like nobody's gonna be. Once we're there, Benna can inspect it all she wants and find out that it's fake. And
Are we just gonna
it's
attack
too
her in the
late.
middle of this encampment?
I have no idea.
I worry about adding in more particularly fragile bricks to this building we've built here.
I think our fortress is ironclad.
Would have been the stocks, Bohuckle.
I'll put them out.
We can
Make sure
we
you
can
keep
take
your
a
fingers
vote on
spread.
it. We can take a vote on it, but I don't think we should do anything that draws more attention to our ruse.
You can go scout things out, and we'll come up with an even better plan by the time you've come back.
I'm already hatching an egg.
Ooh, an egg that's sat on for a long time definitely hatches bigger and better.
Great. Rutherford, the first night, like before we go to bed, also is like very adamant. Absolutely no fires, no torches, nobody do anything to give away our position. He wants to find a place for us to set up our little workshop that is secluded and a good spot for that on the first night. And then the second day, he wants to just get closer to the building, staying in the underbrush as much as possible, see if he can learn anything about the architecture of the building, the structure of it, see if there's any other entry and exit points, like a secret tunnel that's been carved into the mountain that leads through the wall or anything like that, that could potentially give us egress, and then also places that would be a good spot to climb down from the wall with a rope.
Okay.
Like
Y'all just can't glide off of a wall?
Fly. Just
fly!
your little wings.
Just fly! Meh.
Give me survival with advantage to find your place to set up camp. Ooh. Okay, 8. Great. And then give me a stealth to go check the building out.
It's better.
Perfect. You don't find any other exits from the entrances from the building. It's like what you saw, the cube and that big entrance and then the small entrance. No other like doors or secret tunnels or anything that go into the mountain. It seems like it's just those two.
Mm-hmm.
The wall itself is built from like big stone bricks, and you think it would probably be climbable if you were able to get like a rope up there. I think you conclude that on either of the sides that don't have the entrance, coming down from that would be fairly safe, and at least better than coming down on the front.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think enough of you are kind of staking out guard patrol patterns that you can suss that out. Which, at least for the wall and the entrance guards, you can figure out when their shift rotations are and things like that. And then maybe at like 10 o'clock at night, when you all are like setting up camp and trying to like figuring out what you're gonna do and watching the walls and like seeing if patrols are coming back and things like that, you hear a wagon rolling up the main road, and it pulls up to the large door, and then a servant gets out and goes over to the bandits at the front gate, and they talk for a little bit, and then the servant goes back. The portcullis raises up, the big doors open, and the cart goes in. Wagon.
Can we see
We
what
just
was
need
in
a
the
wagon.
wagon, or was it covered?
It's a covered wagon.
No exterior inspection? They didn't come and like check under the axles for anything? Okay.
No.
Well, if we had a wagon, that'd be nice, but I think there's no reason
Give
to
me a
change our
couple
current
days.
plan. Well, I see how you did those
Give you a
with those
couple days.
stocks, and I don't know that I love the idea of a wagon made by you being something that we have to rely on.
What a kind compliment, brother.
It wasn't a compliment. It was a matter of fact statement of, well, this is life or death, and frankly, I think espionage might not be your forte, Bohuckle.
What does making a wagon have to do with espionage?
Sometimes being bigger is more espionage than being smaller.
They're so distracted by the quality of the wagon that they forget that there's a bird folk driving it.
I feel like I'm ready for my time to shine as a Mapach.
I'm having another idea. What if we just go in as recruits, you and I? That's not unheard of. Probably safer than going in as prisoners. And then once we're inside, we can meet back up.
I mean, how are we going to convince them that we're recruits?
We just go up to them and say, well, we're dissatisfied with that awful tree. And then we say a couple of disparaging things, and they're like, oh, sure thing. And then they open the gates and let us in.
Either that or you have a dire message for Bob about Tina and Iggy.
A dire.
I bring words.
We were so moved by the terrible treatment of Bob and Iggy that we decided to come and enroll.
I mean, I think either works potentially. I think it's better if we're all together. Which the prisoner situation does.
I just feel like we're on a time limit if we're prisoners, you know?
We're on a time limit because this one's gonna cast a spell to look like a Mapach.
It's fine. I just go behind a boulder for a second, and then I come back out. I cast it again, and I come back
You
out.
go
and
to
have
little
another power.
Mapach's room, and then you come back, and you're a slightly different Mapach.
I mean, do we plan to be in here for a long time?
We have to get to Benna. We have to
We just
find
have to get
Benna.
in.
I mean, I have no idea. There's no answer to this question.
Yes, we just gotta go.
We don't know what's gonna work and what's not.
We just gotta go.
We just gotta go.
We just gotta give it a shot. Mongo's like, if you're all worried, I can go on ahead. I can try to get in there saying I'm an entertainer, and I've heard marvelous stories about Benna from Alderheart, and that she's deserving of a song in her praise. And I can try and get myself in there first, and send word back to you how things look on the inside.
What if we all got in by ourselves and then met up on the inside?
There you go.
We're creating lots of plans that have a higher chance of individual success and a much lower chance of all of us making it out of this endeavor whole.
I mean, I don't know how we're getting out in the first place. You don't usually let the prisoners
getting
just
out
leave.
part is
but...
really the least of our worries.
That's the getting out is more of a see what happens after contact with the enemy. It's a reason I scouted the walls.
What if we are doing a fortress inspection? An audit, if you will. And we are just looking for things, and we find something so alarming on the highest parapet that it has to go straight to the top, and Benna has to come
I
investigate.
think we should all
the top of the
individually
parapet.
try to get in with all of our different ideas. I just feel like since we can't agree.
What's gonna happen when I show up as a prisoner by myself with no guards, and I'm like, I was caught in the woods?
No, you're doing it.
No, you're gonna be a recruit, apparently.
Or you can be a recruit.
I mean, it's
We're gonna need
possible
a
I could
10-minute
climb
break
those
just to
walls.
decide.
Because I am pretty good at climbing. But
That would work.
I mean, how intelligent is a Mapach?
I mean,
can't
I
say
can go
things
in
like
as
that
a
around them.
Mapach. I can go in as a Mapach and just see.
And walk right on out.
Yeah.
I think if anybody's going to walk right on in and walk right on out, it should be me. As I don't
Maybe
have to
both of
rely
you.
on magic to be one of the crowd.
Gasp! It's not my acting skills. All right, well, you go on ahead then, Rutherford. We're right behind you, metaphorically speaking.
I don't like that as an idea, but I think if that's what we're going to do, that's how we should do it. I think we stick with the original
come
plan that we had.
On Bohuckle, just buck up and be a prisoner for 10 minutes. Look, you made these stocks just for us.
It's not the first 10 minutes that I'm concerned about. It's what happens after they're like, okay, just go put them straight into the prison. We have the executioner lined up.
Well, it's the middle of the night. They don't do nighttime executions. Everyone knows an
Who does
execution is a
nighttime
public
execution?
event.
Yeah, that needs us to save that for the daytime.
Also, Bohuckle, you're the emissary who's been sent to treat with Benna.
And you captured me.
Yes.
What more treating? Okay.
Well,
sure.
surely she would want to speak with you.
At least for a little bit.
So she can evil monologue at me before she throws me in the
Speaks to
dungeon?
us through a prison
And then I
door.
can take her identity and tell everyone to let you go.
Perfect. We're in the prison. She comes visit us in the prison. We
Yes,
shove her
we
into
lock
a
her in the
cell,
cell.
and then we take her identity. Identity theft is the answer to this game.
And then we turn the bandits against Alderheart because they need a reform.
Then we have an army at our control. Great. Wonderful.
Okay. Execute that plan.
Go.
Right, yeah, let's go.
Wonderful. I will
Okay.
cast my spell to look like a Mapach.
Are you going in? Are you going in the middle of the night?
Why not?
Okay.
I think
Great.
like 12:30, you know?
'Kay.
Not too late.
Like right when the guards are getting
Not
a little
2
dozy,
a.m..
we see some like little kind of like sleepy drowsiness from the guards. That's when we'll come in.
Why don't you all make Constitution checks?
Constitution checks?
Constitution saving throws, actually.
I don't know if that's better or
Constitution
worse.
saving throws. Yay!
Well,
I'm
that's-
high on the possibility
You're
of
fucking
acting.
kidding me.
Okay. Ori? I don't know what it is. Maybe you're missing beer as your nightcap. But you are getting tired. You've been traveling for a long time. You've been like super alert trying to find these game trails and succeeding, but it still takes it out of you and you get a point of exhaustion. Everybody else is fine.
Ooh. Thank God he's not our party face.
I don't even know how that works.
You have a disadvantage on checks and saving throws, right? No, checks and attack rolls.
Well, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, can't do it. Ori goes, I'm tired. Why don't we take a rest?
Right after Mungo has put on the costumes and
Yeah,
cast
but if
the
we
spell.
sleep for a long time, they can usually do it again, no problem.
It's just disadvantage on ability checks, not attack
Yeah,
rolls.
not attack roll.
That's doable.
That's fine. I don't need abilities anyways, other than attack rolls.
You should have had some boba while you had a chance. The caffeine will do you good.
All right.
Great,
well,
it's okay. You're tired anyway. You're a tired prisoner. That'll help our story.
Right, I'm just a little dazed from the combat where I valiantly tried to protect the emissary.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, I slap the stocks on both of you. I give.
Or he accidentally lets them fall off. Oh.
Wait, keep your fingers spread.
arms up, fingers out.
Yeah,
Great, and I have our
just
fake official
slight
document.
circular motions.
And I look like a little cutie Mapach. Cutie
Okay.
evil Mapach.
Little cutie evil Mapach. Acquired.
Right.
All right.
Um,
Alright, come on, guys, march.
I think since you're leaving in the middle of the night, you haven't been able to get a specific Mapach that went left on patrol.
Okay.
But-
That's fine.
Just be
I'm
a.
all Mapachs in one.
Yeah.
John Q. Mapach.
Essence of Mapach.
Essence of Mapach. Yeah, you can get Mapach, Essence of Mapach Bandit, no problem.
Okay, yeah. Or the one that we met way back with the sling in the tree, the trap in the tree or something like that. It's like a mix of Mapachs. Great. All right, yeah, and then we just go for the guards.
Okay. Head to the guards. You've got your 2 prisoners with you. You've got Mapach and Vulpin bandits walking up. You approach the wall. The guards look your way as you approach. Which of you is leading?
Probably me.
And as you get up there, the bandit that is holding the torch, like puts it in the wall, pulls out, like, a rustic version of a clipboard, basically. It's like,
It's
It's
made
like-
of slate.
I think it's just like a cutting board with a rope wrapped around it, and it's got paper under that.
Love it. Love it.
And he goes, "What's your name?"
I will quickly come up with a lie and tell him
Great.
the name of one of the bandits that I used to run with that everybody called yes. Winston. Winston was
Okay.
his name.
Ooh, Winston.
Yep.
Winston.
Right.
And as I'm like explaining, oh yeah, I'm Winston. I want to like drop a little bit of thieves' cant, like maybe throw a hand sign or something, like let him know, hey, we're cool. You don't recognize me, but like we got it going on.
Okay. Make a deception check with advantage.
Deception's the one I took, right? Oh, thank God it is.
22 is
Woohoo!
quite good. All right. They're like, "All right, Winston. Who's with you?" And you come up with another name.
Yeah, I come up with another name for Mungojerry, and I explain that we have 2 captives from Alderheart, who refuse to identify themselves.
You can't make me.
Unknown individuals, huh?
Well, I certainly suspect that they are emissaries. This one's certainly wearing the proper regalia for it, and they had some notes that were somewhat incriminating, but they won't.
Mungojerry
I
waves
can't
the
make
note.
them crack.
Now, what's regalia then?
His livery.
Livery.
He
That-
means
that-
clothes.
his
he
suit.
he
His-
means clothes. He's very fancy, but what he means is clothes.
Clothes. He also got fancy clothes. All right. Well, you know the drill. Well, and he whistles, and door opens, and 2 more Bompocks come out, and he's like, "They'll take him to the stocks to get them sorted out, and they'll be dealt with in the morning, I guess."
wonderful. I would love a nap. And proceed to sign his clipboard or whatever the fuck else he wants me to do, and wait for
He just checked that the names were on the list, is all.
Oh, great. Yeah, those names, great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
We get into the club. Our name's on the list.
Your name's on the list. The two Mapachs, the additional ones that came out, come and grab Ori and Bohuckle, and proceed to like lead them off, and then you two are like enter, and can either follow or do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Follow. They lead them. Which way is it? Where is this?
I thought we came with socks provided, but I guess they have better ones for us.
They lead them to a large canvas tent.
Secure.
It's easy enough to break out of, yeah. I'm here for it.
Canvas.
A large canvas tent. You can see there's two gerbine that are kind of outside the tent, like guarding the entrance. And as the Mapach bring the two captives up, the gerbine like pull the tent entrance aside. Inside, there's a small open area, a large locked chest, and a chair with another servant in it. A ring of keys hang loosely from her belt, and then the rest of the area has 4 rusty-looking iron cages that are all empty, and they put both of you in separate cages. And then lock it up.
Or he rattles the bars of his cage. Free us.
Okay, this servant, looking at them, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say they're not Benna.
Okay.
Do I get Benna vibes from them, or does it, this is just the prison guard servant?
What, in your opinion, would Benna vibes be?
Assertive, powerful,
Uh-huh.
surprisingly feminine.
Uh-huh. No.
Okay, great.
She is female. Female servant. But
not surprisingly feminine.
Not surprisingly female.
Expectedly feminine.
Yeah. Not particularly powerful, like powerfully built. And I mean, when Ori starts like rattling on the cages, she goes over and like, I don't know, pokes a stick in and like pokes at you and is like
shimmies to the back. It's like, how dare you? I'm a guard of Alderheart. Suspiciously, I still have my axe and shield on me, I'm assuming. We'll avoid that question for later.
Just like stuck in your pant leg.
My third leg, it's an axe.
But yeah, she comes over and pokes at you, and she's like, language and noise from prisoners is not tolerated. Please don't make my shift worse than it needs to be. And then she like, you scurry to the back, and she goes and sits down again.
Can I get a sense from her? Like, oh yeah, man, it sure has been a while since anybody's been in these cells, right? What are they gonna do with them? And like, try and get some information out of her. Yeah.
Can I help? I want to help by like being like,
oh, are you gonna tell Benna that I captured these 2 crazy,
like I want to get credit. This Mapach wants credit for like this capture, and so he wants to know like if Benna will find out and like if he'll get like the bandit employee of the month kind of.
I also want to clarify. I've decided I named you Georgie.
Yeah, Georgie. It's not all him. Winston didn't do it all. Georgie was here now. I want to make sure that Benna knows.
I said Georgie, not Fran Drescher.
Oh, that's not Fran.
It's not Fran.
Not enough of a Jersey accent.
Yeah.
I'll do Fran next.
Well, she's like, I don't know what Ben is gonna do with them. She doesn't usually. I mean, we don't usually have prisoners. I guess these are the first ones in a while, couple weeks, but we kind of just let them sit here and rot until they break, and then they join the bandits. No problem.
But they're
Well,
bird
that's
folk.
easy. I'll break right now. Can I join? I hate being a guard. This sack of feathers always tries to tell me what to do, and I hate it.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
No. Wow.
She's
Straight
like-
across.
She's like, shut up, I know you're lying. Nobody from Alderheart would ever break, especially not one of you hoity-toity Strigs.
Welcome with the stick again.
Like, oh, you want me
let's
to?
have a
She
hop.
goes and posts. Anyway,
Straighter.
if anybody's gonna get employee of the month, bandit of the month again, it's gonna be Bob. Bob always gets it.
Well, look, it's just a diversity contest. We know, but like, that's not what we're here for. Okay, so, I mean, they're from Alderheart. We haven't had anybody from Alderheart ever, have we? Like, this is unique. Surely we need to get somebody involved in this. They might know something.
They might know something. We've had people from Alderheart come all the time.
But
Down
look,
on
he
their
had
luck.
this.
Waving documentation. Trying to show that they are like more important. I guess the idea being they're more important people from Alderheart than we've ever had before. That Benna should probably talk to.
Make a deception check. I think it's also disadvantage. She doesn't really care to do her job very well at all.
Oh. What if I throw in some? If you do this, you'll get a bandit employee of them.
It could be you. I imagine a servant should get it anyway, not Bob.
17.
11.
Oh, disadvantage. Dang.
Like, look, you can go talk to Benna and her people if you want in the morning, but she's gonna be asleep. You should not go wake her up, but she'll be around, so I just go wave that paper in her face. See if she cares.
Great, I'd love to.
I almost want to, like, pull Georgie out of the tent with me, and
Mhm.
like, well, okay, we'll be back, and then like,
No.
Like,
we need
make
to
it
either
look
be
like-
coordinated on, do we stay or do we go?
Well, no, I mean it looks like you're doing her a favor by pulling me, the annoying Georgie, out from the tent.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
That's what I'm saying.
the play. I like
Come
it.
on, Rutherford.
Yeah. So
play.
yeah, we
It's all a
drag
play.
Georgie out of the tent with relative certainty that our friends are not in immediate danger.
I mean, it's a canvas tent,
Or he
so
just
we can
looks
probably
over
still
at
hear
Bohuckle.
breathing.
Gives a little shrug. Sits down. He starts whittling something.
A stick to poke her back. What's your name out there?
You want poked too?
No.
Be quiet.
Well, what if I break and want to join the bandits? Who do I talk to?
I guess you talk to me, but you're not. It's too fast. I'm not.
I really am scared of cages. You don't know my phobias. This has been highly effective.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
This is gonna work eventually, guys.
13.
Hold on.
Abby hates
My
us
turn.
right now.
No, she got lucky. Like, if you are really that scared, maybe the cage will break you, but you're gonna need to wait.
About how long would you say?
She doesn't answer.
And clerks these days.
They don't make them like they used to.
Alright, well, Georgie, I think our clock is ticking for you to still look like Georgie. So, what are we gonna do now that we're in here?
I don't know. I mean, we can scout stuff out, or we can try and see where Benna is ahead of time. Or I can just become that girl, who is not surprisingly feminine.
Well, I like the idea of stealing the keys from her, and having you take her place certainly is a good idea, but only having an hour, I think that it has to be well timed and something has to be executed on when we do that. I think if we take keys now, it'll go noticed before something happens. There's very few people in the camp that know that these two are here. You don't have any way to confuse somebody or make them lose their memories or anything in your little magic bag of tricks that you have?
Nope. Not that I know of.
I see. Okay.
But I can't make them go to sleep.
Well, my next thought is, do we immediately involve Benna?
Right now?
Yes. Do something to draw her out, or make this all happen quickly.
I mean, I can go get her as Georgie. Georgie would go get Benna.
Fine. So then, what do we do with an angry Benna who's been woken?
Or we just wait until morning and I cast the spell again. And I disguise myself as a barrel.
I find a barrel and I sleep in it until morning. Are there crates? Like when we're in the camp? I'm assuming we're like walking around and we're kind of like hushed whispers. What? I feel like we should take this time to kind of like see what's even in here. Is there like tons of arms? Are there bombs? Is that wagon we saw earlier around?
Okay, yeah.
I could
So
sleep under the covered wagon.
here's the layout of the cube courtyard.
Tell me the cube.
The mountain with the mountain door, double door, is north. To the east is the largest building. At the south, along the wall, there are training dummies. And it being this late at night, that you don't see them being used right now. There's near the largest building is where the prison is. At the corners of each of the walls, there are spiral stairs that go up to the top of the wall. There are 2 large levers inside of the gate. And there's like, I don't know. At this time of night, like 5 bandits kind of milling about. And then there's the 2 guards that are guarding the prison. There's the jailer inside of the prison. And you know there's the 2 guarding the front door.
Maybe we should prepare a way out.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. So,
Throw a
leaving.
rope over one of those levers?
What, for the portcullis?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think if we try to leave via the portcullis, we'll have a lot of resistance. That's where they will expect us to leave from. Going over one of the
Oh.
walls, however.
And
We-
to the west,
Mhm.
there's another building that's smaller, and you can see it's like a barn shed-like structure, and there is a wagon inside of it.
I think that our exit's going to have to be quick no matter what we do. So, prepping an exit up at the top of one of the walls, we can then rappel down the side of the building and escape.
Yes, you can rappel down the side of the building. We just get to flap down.
Yes, okay, great. Wonderful. You all have a plan as well.
You're scared of heights.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were vertically
True.
impaired in this
I
situation
don't know how
as
we're
well.
gonna do it. I can do it. I don't like it.
Okay, well, I think establishing a climbing rope at, I'll say, the west wall is what I'm going to work on. I want to find a place up on the west parapets where I can discreetly hang a rope that, like, if somebody is just standing outside, they'd have to really look to find it, and from the inside, you have to, like, move some crates around to see that there's a rope tied to something.
Yeah, I think knowing the guard patrol patterns and already being in the fortress and like generally accepted, that's easy enough to do.
Okay, cool.
Georgie would like to go. I'm no longer Mungojerry. I'm totally in character. I would like to see that wagon.
Okay. You go over to the shed that the wagon's pulled into. You don't see the servant that you saw earlier, like, get out. And inside of the wagon, it looks like partially unloaded are various crates, and you, like, open up one of the crates, and there's, like, general supplies, food, and water, barrels of, like, there's, I don't know, barrels,
you say?
barrels or kegs of, like, ale, just the various supplies.
Right. Cool. Great. I will note that those barrels and boxes and crates are there. Is there one that's like partially, like, is there a place that I could hide if I needed to, like, sleep it off when I'm not in disguise, kind of a thing? Like in under the cover wagon part, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Great. I go and I find Rutherford.
And all their supplies are over here.
I just don't know what to do now. If we strike quickly, we can be in and out before any alarms are really raised. But
We can
we're
go
working
figure
with
out what's in
so
that
little
portcullis
information.
place. No, not the Palisade place. Whatever it is.
All right. Let's hope we don't open it straight up into Benna's bedroom. But
That would be fun.
I suppose let's go
I mean,
do
you
that.
know where to
then.
find us if you need
Yeah.
backup.
Yeah. I feel like if we find Benna now, or at least we know where she is and like how many people there are, like, that's beneficial, you know.
I think that's, yeah, I agree. Let's check that out.
Okay. So
Into
you're
the
going to
mountain hall.
double doors?
Dynamic duo stealth mission.
Not
Yeah.
stealth mission, just inconspicuous mission.
Inconspicuous mission.
Okay. Great. So you approach the double doors, which kind of, you take a rough road in the north of the courtyard that climbs kind of up a couple of steep crags, and curves, revealing a 40-foot tall barricade of logs lashed together and a large set of double doors. there are a pair of Mapachs in chain armor that eye you as you approach.
Mm. Oh god, I think I let Mungo do the talking. I don't know if I want to be involved in this. I think Rutherford is just, he's kind of standing in the back and eyeing the situation and just observing for now.
Okay.
It's Georgie.
I imagine Georgie has one very large eye and one very small eye.
I hear you. Can you let me in?
The taller, bulkier of the Mapachs, raises their hand towards you.
I raise my hand back.
Yeah, they're they look strangely at you, and they're, that's far enough, friend. State your business.
I'm really trying to tell Benna about some news in the woods.
Benna is asleep. You know what happened to the last person that woke Benna up at night.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but I have faster reflexes, and I'm gonna let him be in front.
We can't let you in to see Benna.
Alright, I mean, I get that, but it's how many of there are there?
I want to be not trying to get in there, but I want to weave a tale where they tell me this is Benna's room, or all of her elite guards are here. I want the information of what lies beyond.
I cast Air of Gates on the guards.
What lies beyond?
Georgie casts Air of Gates.
Roll a persuasion check just to make conversation with them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you guys look just like my cousins.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
It
Yeah,
must be really hard working for Benna. I mean, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Tell me about it.
Well, as you know, she's taken excellent care of all of us since she's taken over.
I can tell that. Your armor looks really nice. That's why I'm here. I want some armor like that.
The armory. I mean, if you want to visit the armory, we can let you in for that. Just do not go see Benna.
Okay. Yeah. But she just took over recently. What was that?
Yeah. Were you here?
No, I'm new. That's why I want to be Mapach of the month.
What? I mean, it was great. She installed the infirmary. And he gestures behind him too. And she's taken in a bunch of refugees. Some of them are children, and she takes good care of them. She's looking out for us. She lost her family to the fires, and Alderheart just won't listen, and so she wants to make sure that they actually do something.
Oh, yeah, the fires, man. Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna just get she seems reasonable from what they've said, and I want to ascertain how she's dealt with prisoners before. If they're strung up on the portcullis, or if she listens to them or whatever.
You ask about prisoners, and they're like, well, she usually lets them stew for a little bit, kind of, I don't know, feel like there's a little bit of a fire under them, a little bit of cabin fever in those cages, and then she usually just comes out and shows them how great it is around here, and she's very inspiring. She's never forced any of us to fight. We all choose this because we think it's what's best for Alderheart. I mean, Alderheart. You probably came from there, right? You know that they don't take care of the
I've never been to
Humberfolk.
Alderheart. I just walk around.
Oh, well, if you just walk around, I mean that's something. But Alderheart needs to. No, yeah, Alderheart needs to change what they're doing. That's
You're
Humble's
totally
fault.
right. They don't have any idea what it's like out here.
They don't. They need. They. I mean, there's a reckoning coming. That's for sure.
Yes, that's right. Right now. Okay, thank you. It was really nice meeting you guys, and I'm gonna get that armor now. Bye.
Like, all right.
Georgie will go and retreat and take Rutherford with him.
Wait, okay, if you
Unless...
the armory's inside, right?
Yeah, the armor is inside the keep.
Okay, well then
Yeah,
we'll go
so,
inside the
yeah,
keep to get the armory.
We get in there for the armor.
They're like, all right, since you haven't been here, you're gonna go in. You're gonna take a left.
Left's this way, right?
I use it. Georgie is doing like
Mhm.
Left. Okay, got it. Left.
All right. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get this armor, but you can get some armor at least.
Okay, yeah. Last time I bought the same armor twice.
now I need new armor.
Hold
All right,
on.
so we go in. Ooh.
That's the wrong one.
Woohoo! That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. It's this one. So you go in. These two guys at the front open these doors for you. And I'll put your little tokens down. Go.
Sizing up the Mapach that are in front of us, they
Mhm.
are obviously wearing better armor, but do they seem like particularly skilled fighters? Just looking at them, are they nervously holding their spears and like shuffling awkwardly, or are they very
No, they
confident?
seem pretty competent. I mean, like, probably equivalent to the ones guarding the door, which is, I think, more than, like, the two Durbine guards that are guarding the prison don't look like they're as competent.
Mhm.
They're kind of squirrely.
Sure. Okay, so going to the left takes us to the armory.
Yeah, so
Let's do
there's
that.
a door here with a lock, with the door's locked. And then there's a, like, stairway here that goes down, and there's another door down there.
Okay, well, I mean, let's just be as convincing with the cover story as we can, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Georgie needs a new set of armor. So yeah, we'll go in the armory and look for some armor. See what we can see there.
The armory is locked.
Well,
Do you have an ex-bandit with you?
This is rude.
it is quite rude. I think it's probably better
We
to
were
just
invited.
go and ask them to unlock it than it is to try and pick the lock. So maybe we just go back outside. Hey, there's nobody at the armory right now. Can you guys unlock it?
Can
You
we...
go out.
Go ahead.
You go out and ask them, and they're like, "You don't have a key. If you haven't been issued a key, you can't get in the armory."
You know, I tried mine the other day, and I was too embarrassed to tell anybody about it. He doesn't even know.
And I'm like,
He can't know. Don't let him know that I don't have a key.
But if you don't have a key, and he doesn't also have a key, then what? Okay.
Well,
Well-
I told him I would open the door, and then I know I can't.
Roll deception.
You really wanted to.
10.
Like, look, we can't open the armory for you, but you can just, if you just ask nicely, they'll get you another key down at the barracks.
Guess I'm not getting Mapach of the month.
But I'll dejectedly walk back down the path unless you want to try something else, Rutherford.
I mean, I think before you leave, can I come back into the conversation and what are you doing out here still? What, you don't have a key? Oh, fine, I'll unlock it. New recruits, they don't know how to do anything, and grumble, and maybe to keep up the illusion that I am a certified bandit TM.
Legit.
Yeah.
Where are
They're
we
like-
going? Are you going back in?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you have this conversation in the doorway with them, and then you start to walk down the path, and I grab you by the collar and I'll just unlock it. Good lord, what are you doing?
All right. I mean, if he's got a key, you got it. But be careful in there.
What in the slimes is in this place?
So I chastise Georgie as I pull Georgie through the door, and then kind of close the door behind us, so we're in here. And then, okay, well, do we think the armor is actually worth us spending time trying to get into? Is there anything you really want? Yeah. So
No.
let's poke around elsewhere. So let's check out the stairs. What does that door lead to?
The stairs leads to an unlocked door.
Very stealthily, quietly crack that open. See what's inside.
Crack it open. Inside you see. Let's see, what did I actually cover up? Yeah, you see 3 long tables, that are crammed into a meeting area. 2 of them are along the sides, and then 1 of them's on the back. You can see the remains of a meal that sit in front of each seat. On the northern wall, there's a single table with a very high-backed chair, singular high-backed chair. There's candles and a single iron chandelier that bathe the area in a dim light, and there's 2 Gerbine sentries that stand watch over a door in the northeast corner.
Mm-hmm. I think going into the room and just getting an assessment of the sentries. Do they look like they're drunk from the feast that they just had? Are they alert and good to go? Walk in there I forgot my car keys. Did anybody leave them in the lost and found? You know how Ringo is. He likes to steal stuff from me and leave it under things. Try and make a simple reason why I would be here and might need to poke around the room.
You can easily pass off poking around the room. Make an insight check.
Insight. More like insignificant.
3. Great. From what you can tell, these Gerbine, you can see that they're wearing scale mail, which you have not seen Gerbine wear. They each have a rapier on their side. And I don't know. They seem like they're not I don't know. They're not drunk. They seem fine. They're watching you as you walk through the room.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 of them guarding a door, and then I can tell that door leads into the structure that we saw from the other side.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I will. Oh, there, found it. There's my dagger. Okay, thanks guys, and leave. And then go check out this other side. If we go to the right, what do we find there?
Yeah, so here it's another unlocked door. Inside is, I think, just those. Yeah. There are several cots inside of this space. There's a shelf at one corner of the room that's filled with salves and tinctures, as well as a few books and some herb samples that are preserved in glass jars and fluids. A wooden table nearby is stained with long-dried blood and has an opened healer's kit upon it. And and there's 3 bandits that are bandaged on various parts of their bodies that are sleeping in cots.
So they're sleeping, not medics.
Yep.
Okay. Do any of them have equipment that's just like laying at the side of their bed? Like, oh, here's his armor and dagger and short bow and whatever else.
Is key to the armory.
Also that.
No. They all are like stripped down to their jammies. There's and the 2 ones that are displayed as Mapachs are actually hedges. So there's 2 hedges and 1 gerbine.
Okay. Oh, I guess quietly poke around the room, look see if there's any healing potions or anything. That might be useful.
Sure. Make an investigation check. Nice. There's the healer's kit that's open has some missing stuff, but is serviceable. There's 2 burn salves which are on the shelf. And there's 2 books that have advanced medical text in them. And then the herbs, I don't know. They don't look like anything to you, but maybe Bohuckle could do something with them. That's it, though.
Okay. Nothing I immediately recognize as here's a periaptive wound closure.
No.
So, okay. Just leave the room, close the door. And, yeah. Is there any weaponry laying outside of the armory anywhere? Or are we gonna have to break in? Okay. Let's go ahead and try picking that lock.
Okay. Make a thieves' tools check.
Attribute, dexterity.
Oh, nice.
You on fire!
I'm doing great tonight. 3 20s.
Amazing.
Yeah, just pop that right open.
Pop that right open. No problem. The lock is made out of heavy iron and is quite sturdy. But luckily, I think you've picked this lock before. This exact lock, probably.
Whoa. Is this a Lockmaster Model 9M2? Wow.
No, I mean, you've probably broken into the armory before.
This armory?
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow, okay. Curious. Anywho,
Curious?
I'm inside.
Or they've moved one of the locks that you did also pick to the armory. Anyway, you can enter this building. It's a small building that has a rack of weapons, an armor rack, and then bags of assorted treasure that are in a pile nearby.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Assorted treasure?
Assorted treasure.
Hell yes! Loot that!
Okay, so in here, there's a bunch of stuff. There's, on the armor rack, a suit of scale mail. Weapon rack-wise, there's 4 light crossbows that are next to each, like, have a full quiver of bolts next to them. And then there's a long sword and a halberd. The halberd is one that has, like, I don't know, the perch guard halberds probably have, like, a feather carved into, like, the pokey end of the halberd. And it's got that. It's like a perch guard halberd that they've, I don't know, reclaimed. There's 2 paintings, that are sitting on next to the wall. There's a small box you open it, filled with an assortment of precious jewelry, and then there's 3 coffers that have just coins, like, coming out of them. But it's, like, a lot of coin. You can't just carry it out of here.
My gosh, we need a pack mule to carry all this. We have a bag of holding.
Sean! I was about to say, nobody has claimed that bag of holding yet. So, Rutherford has claimed it. Nobody can do anything about that. And we're gonna get a bunch of gold in that bag. Load them up.
I can't wear scale mail, can I?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, alright.
Ori would be able to. I don't know if
I
Ori
can,
wants that or not.
yeah.
But I think our cover should be you grab the scale mail and, like, bundle it up in burlap sacks, and, like, we overburden you with a bunch of stuff, and then you go toddling out of the the fortress here with too much stuff. I'm like, oh, thanks, guys.
Your bag of holding is from Jebediah. Who
Yeah.
had a bag of holding.
Uh-huh.
Right. Georgie, aka Mungojerry, is loving the fact that he is getting armor that he will not be able to wear.
Yep.
And I guess we just he'll grab that. He can't really carry anything else because he doesn't have the bag of holding. And then I feel like we should probably skedaddle because my hour is probably growing thin. And so Georgie Mungo will make a hasty descent and be like,
Thanks, guys. Now I can look like you. I'm sure to be Mapach of the month.
and scoot on down to the wagon and hopefully like sleep for the night.
Okay, sounds good. We'll take a break and then we'll revisit our prison birds and see what they're doing.
Prison chicken.
Yeah. See you back here in 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. There was serious discussion over the break, which almost never happens. It's almost always side discussion, but this was serious. What's the plan?
We gotta take Mapach of the month extremely seriously. That's now the new goal. No. What is the plan?
We
Logan?
wait for Bennett to wake up and then come talk to us.
I will say
So simple.
the one issue potentially in this plan is that you were told by somebody that Sarah talked to that she will leave you 4 days and then come talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but
Which is
when
fine
she's
if you can wait days.
in the morning, at least we can have a conversation with her. She will be alive and a person, and Rutherford can convince
And
her.
not killing people on sight as she usually does when she's awoken in the middle of the night. They
Yeah,
make it
apparently.
sound like. I mean, we can talk to her and encourage her that it's important to like talk to you guys right now. Like we can.
Maybe because like I know something about the burning woods that she might be interested in. Personally.
There you go.
Perfect.
So,
Ori, on the
Mungojerry
other
and
hand,
I
knows nothing.
yeah, we go
Get rid of
find
that one. Poke her with a stick some more.
we go find a convenient place to lie low and hide as a chicken and a fox.
Yep.
And wait for morning to come, keeping an eye on the prison tent for activity.
Okay.
They definitely won't notice. All
I'll
that
make a
gold
full
you
dinner for
sold.
myself.
You do that and nobody says anything.
I'll hand you some.
I accepted through the bars of the game.
You have to like turn the bowl sideways to get it
we
through. And then
offer some
ladle
to the
through.
lady.
She doesn't take any.
Oh.
She like, if you talk to her, she will threaten to poke you.
But if we
But she
don't talk to
otherwise
her,
She
doesn't
really
really-
only knows one refrain.
Yes.
why don't you just
Um,
take the stick from her if she tries to poke you? You're much stronger than her.
The guards, the Gerbine guards at the edge, like at the outside of the prison tent, rotate at some point in the night. The jailer does not have a shift change yet. The sun rises, bandits start milling about. There's like, I don't know, 12 to 14 bandits like in the courtyard at any given time, kind of milling about, and they start like practicing combat on the training dummies, and some of them like head up and go into the double doors, and then it's just like marginally lively. Nobody's like super excited, like super energetic, but they're like doing their jobs and here for the day. I think if you're just like chilling to see what happens, eventually you see who you presume to be Benna. Here's the art.
Doesn't have antlers.
No, she does not have
And
antlers.
it's surprisingly feminine.
I mean, I need to
It's
switch
for
to the
days.
combat screen so people can see the surprisingly feminine Benasaridin.
You should.
There we go.
Very nice. Yeah, so she is, where's her description? She is a tall, scarred grove servant who wears a red bandana over her left eye. And she has cool armor on, and a quite nice sword on her belt. And she comes out and she's escorted by the two Gerbine in scale mail that you saw last night. And they're like, up to her thigh, and she is very tall. But they're like strutting in front of her, like here to protect her. And she comes out and she like starts like dueling with people, like practice duels and giving tips, and she's obviously more skilled than all of the bandits, but she's trying to help them and teach them. And so she starts milling about with people normally too.
Okay, so Mungo, how do we want to approach
What is it?
talking to Benna about the new prisoners that she has?
Well, I mean, Georgie would just love to tell Benna that he personally escorted new prisoners that know about the fires. And if we say that loud enough, and Bohuckle hears it, he's most likely to. He could start talking very loudly about all his knowledge about fires, so Benna Sheridan hears it. I mean, canvas tents. What are we talking about here? You can project right through that.
Okay, well, I just worry about if we bring out Georgie, then you have to be Georgie, and we don't know how
Temporarily.
long this will take.
Or you could do it, since you are a bandit, sort of.
Well, sort of.
Winston.
Thank you. I think that's
Or
probably
we
for the
just
best.
sneak in and tell Bohuckle through the canvas tent to start loudly talking about fires, and then draw her in that way.
I think I will definitely tell Bohuckle through the canvas tent that he should say something about fires. That's an important detail that it will need to be filled in on. But talking to Benna herself, I think, is probably the easiest way to get her to the tent. If you're
Well, if we
okay
talk
with
to her, I
staying
can-
here, I will.
Alright, if you
go
want to
and-
do it by yourself, I'm okay staying here. I mean, there's snacks. I'm assuming he's just amongst these crates eating the around him. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine.
Okay. Well,
I can keep an eye out over. I mean, if anything happens to you, I'll just come out, either as myself or Georgie. Who knows?
depending
or
on
I
the
can-
scream that you hear from me, yes, that'll determine if the disguise is worthwhile or not. Just try to crunch your snacks not quite so loudly, alright? And then I leave. First stop to go and stand at the outside of the prison tent and say to the part of the tent that I know that Bohuckle is in,
Yep.
hey, Bohuckle, psst, hey, whisper, whisper, come over here, and wait for some response.
What's that? Rutherford, is that you? What are you doing out there? Well, come in here, I'm making breakfast.
Jesus Christ. Rutherford will say, hey.
The jailer looks your way and she's like, "What have I told you?"
I'm not talking to you. Put that stick down. I'm talking outside.
Jesus Christ.
My friend suffers from hallucinations, but it's okay, I promise.
It's not hallucinations. Rutherford, he's right outside. Or not Rutherford, Winston.
Your good friend Rutherford. I'm sure your good friend Rutherford is right outside. Whoever that is, we have no idea.
He's breaking already. The phobias are getting to him.
Yeah, the phobias. I've only seen this once before. And he was caged up in Alderheart for too many days.
Through that commotion, I relay, hey, you know things about the fire, that's useful information. Benna's probably interested in that.
Would Benna be interested in that? I don't know anything about Benna.
We're gone. Like that
She's surprisingly feminine, and she's interested in fun. Otherwise, you're gonna stay in here for days.
So I think Rutherford will then somewhat in a surprisingly pronounced way, like walk down toward the training dummies where Benna is fighting and like observe and try to catch Benna's attention while she's fighting and like give like a look of, hey, this is important. You don't know me, but I know you. Like, you know that creepy look that somebody gives you when they want to talk to you, but you don't know them? I do that. I guess.
Yeah, she catches your eye and like gives you a nod and then finishes her bout. And like tells the Jermaine that she was bouting with to go duel with another Mapach and like practice the skill she just taught him, and then comes over to you. It's like she's like, I don't think I've met you before. Are you a new recruit?
Not new. Like extend my hand as a shake hand or fist bump or whatever people do in Animal Land. My name is Winston. I work with Frey, and I was, I've not been associated with your group before, but I found some interesting persons from Alderheart the other day in the woods, and I brought them as prisoner to you. I thought that perhaps it would be best that you know about that situation, and that we, maybe found something useful we could do with these people.
She nods and she's like, I have been made aware of the situation. Would you know who? I heard that you didn't know who they were. They wouldn't speak. Is that true?
That's true. I can't get them to crack. I overheard them originally in the woods, discussing the fires on the western side of
The
Humblewood.
fires.
Yes, and they are clearly from Alderheart. There seems to be an emissary and his bodyguard. One of them was carrying documents that seemed to be looking to parley or treat with you in some way, or treat with the bandits harrying from the east. I think that they might have some ability to influence what's going on in Alderheart. I think we certainly have some valuable people in that tent over there.
She nods. She's like, well, I was going to let them kind of sit and contemplate their actions, but if you think they're important, we can go speak with them.
Certainly no disrespect in your camp, Captain. If you would like to let them sit, we can, but I think that there's a gem hidden in this. It's probably best to deal with it quickly.
It's like, lead the way.
We walk over to the tent and open the tent flaps.
Yeah, open the tent flaps.
Do all the things.
She enters after Rutherford enters. She makes him go first, and she kind of fixes Ori's the guard and Bohuckle's the fancy pants. So she enters and she kind of fixes Bohuckle with a stony glare, and she's like, so this is what Alderheart sends: a group of greenhorns. Pathetic. If you knew what we were fighting for, you wouldn't be so quick to condemn us.
Why don't you tell me what you're fighting for?
We're fighting for our rights.
Your right to what?
Equal treatment. We want equity in Alderheart, and equity in how the resources of the Birdfolk Council are allocated.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
Correct.
I just think the way you're going about it isn't the most effective.
How else are we supposed to do it?
Honestly, I'm not sure, because I just talked to the Birdfolk Council, and they're not very convincing people.
She's not. She's like, you're telling me. My mother died in a fire because they wouldn't do anything about it.
My mother died, and my father, and Mary Sue from down the lane, and Paul next door, and Henry on the other next door, and everyone except for Riven. They all died in a fire.
You were in a fire too.
Have you heard of Ashborough?
I've heard of it.
Well, it's not anything anymore. That's my town, and
Now
it's
ash.
gone.
And it's burrowed.
Now it's just ash barrowed. Burrowed underground. Buried. Ash buried. That's its new name.
And you're here to represent Alderheart. It seems like you're against them also.
It's a little bit of a wishy-washy situation. I don't have that much aligned with Alderheart, to be honest. I just went and talked to them, and they tried to convince me to come and do something. So now I'm here, and I'm trying to get your side of the story.
Well, it seems that she turns to Rutherford. She's like, it seems like they're not actually emissaries from Alderheart.
Oh no, I am an emissary from Alderheart. They did ask me to come here, that's for sure.
All
I'm just not an emissary professionally or from
Remember-
Alderheart personally.
She's confused.
Ori looks at Bohuckle and he's kind of like, remember they told us to ask about what would get the bandits to stop attacking? What Alderheart would need to do?
Yeah, what are your demands? Have you just tried asking for them?
We've tried. I mean, we've tried asking. Growing up, we sent word to Alderheart's council asking for support for our village. My mother had a vision of a horrible fire, and it came true. But they wouldn't send us anything.
A vision of a fire, you say? And tell me a little bit more. I've encountered a scary number of people recently that have had visions of fire.
I mean, I don't know much. I was young, but my mother was a very respected seer in Servan Village that I grew up in, and she foretold that flames would come, and we sent word to Alderheart, and we told them that we would need support, and she, like, lifts up her bandana, and you can see, like, the whole left side of her face is burned, and her eyes, like, burned out, and she's like, I barely survived with my life, and most of my village died in the flame.
Is there a chance I know her mother? Because I'm 37. How old is Benna?
Uh,
Because I've definitely tried
Roll
to study
circles.
with seers before. You know, I don't know how common
yeah,
or uncommon necessarily
just
they
roll
are.
a d6. We'll leave it up to fate.
We've really simplified the circles roll, haven't we? Just always comes down
No
to a
question,
D6 now.
just a D6.
Four. I think you have definitely heard of her, and maybe even met her like once briefly, visiting this village. But it wasn't like a huge village. But she was really a respected elder, like quite high up, and had visions that came true from the servant god like quite also frequently. She had the sight or whatever it is.
Yeah, Ori's gonna take over, and he's gonna start speaking in Servan to Benna, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, she had visions. I'd heard of her. Your mother, let's see, Benna Senior."
Benna Senior.
Benna Senior. A long line of Bennas, many gifted with the sight. Did she ever tell you about a strange owl that had seen visions before?
I don't think she remembers. Because this was a while ago.
Yeah, it was probably. I wonder if your mother, despite what happened to her, would be happy to see you fighting and trying to kill people in Alderheart, basically, instead of working for a better solution. This should be a time when we all come together instead
What
of
is the better
dividing
solution?
ourselves.
The council is responsible for the death of my family and my friends in my village, as well as all of the other villages that are burning.
Did they set the fire?
No, but they did not.
Then you
Send
must find
support.
where the fire came from. It did not come from Alderheart.
She grumbles. She's like, oh.
You've
real
misplaced
mature,
your
this Vanna.
anger.
You're so positive about this, and that if we found the cause of the fire, that we could solve it. But we would still need Alderheart's support and resources to end whatever nightmare is happening.
We can get it. I've seen that the fire is hurting Alderheart too, and the bird folk. They will know soon enough that they cannot run from this. You will need them just as they need you.
Make a persuasion check.
But you still have disadvantage on
You
everything?
don't still have disadvantage
good.
because you slept.
Can I have advantage for knowing her mother and speaking servant?
Yeah.
Can I get a bless from or a bardic inspiration from my bard?
Your bard is not in the
I'm not
room.
currently present.
And
Oh,
none of us
fuck.
speak Servant, and we don't know what you're saying.
I do know how to speak servant, but
Oh.
I am currently in a cart.
Oh.
Damn it.
Snacking.
That's
Quietly.
Monton.
Fuck.
Oh,
Connor took all the good rolls.
sorry,
took all the
sorry.
good
I did
rolls.
not need a
All the
20
roll
on that
20
thieves
luck.
tool. I shouldn't have used it then.
I shouldn't have used it. Like, you can tell she wants to believe what you're saying, but her hatred for the Birdfolk Council and like all of the rage that she's built up over time just can't be broken through.
Too full of rage. Okay. Or
What
we'll
does
just like
she-
look.
What does she want? Like, she's attacking Alderheart to stop the fires? Like, I'm confused about what her...
She wants them to treat the humble folk equally to the bird folk, which means like
help, eventually helping with the fires. But
Yeah.
she's, like, depleting everyone's resources.
Guys, are we gonna
first.
become bandits?
No.
I really agree with her.
We're gonna become a third party that seeks reform across all grounds. Yeah, or he stops speaking servant and he's like, well, good luck. And looks at Bohuckle and is like, you're not gonna convince her.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know anything about what you two just talked about because I don't speak a lick of Servant. But what I do know is I don't. You seem like you have a good camp running here, and in Alderheart, I don't care much for it. I've been there a couple times, but they are good people there. The council's not the people of Alderheart, so you're not attacking the right people. You're not hurting the council, really. You're just hurting the people of Alderheart, and that's not doing much for you at all. Why
okay.
don't you?
Assassinate the council. We will serve as double agents, make it to the council, and
That's
try
100
perform
gold
a
each.
coup.
Why don't you? I'm proposing maybe you just stop attacking the people of Alderheart for a couple of weeks, and maybe I can work something out with the council, see if they can meet with you or do something, so we're not just killing people.
Now you make a
Yours,
persuasion check.
your people, or Alderheart's people.
That we should stop killing people and find the source of these fires.
And no other family would have to suffer.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
19!
Oh my gosh.
Oh
good
my
job.
gosh, I'm so jealous.
A 19 and a 0. A 20 and a 1.
You softened her up a bit.
Ori did soften her up. She listens to what you have to say, and she's like, I do have a good camp running here. And I do hate to lose people. I can call off the attacks for a little bit, but the council will need to make severe amends.
What? Give me a concrete thing that I could get them to agree to immediately. So it's not just vague hand waving like they're gonna do. I know
mean,
of two Gerbine captured at the moment. Tina and Iggy, they've really moved my heart, those two. I'll get them released, probably.
they
hopefully.
should be. That would be excellent. I know
Reunite
Bob
that
has been
family.
moving. Bob has
Reunite
been
both of
missing
those
Tina.
families that are two separate families.
Yeah, two separate.
That we're torn apart by Bob.
I mean, they need to recognize humble folk as equal and allocate the perch guard to the cities and villages that are being burned and under attack, and move troops to the Scorched Grove. I
I
mean,
have a question for you.
yeah.
If you're already making attacks on the perch guard at Alderheart, don't you have the equivalent of the perch guard here? What are you doing for the fires, for the people?
Have you seen these guys? They don't know what they're doing.
Probably like
Shh.
two Gerbine like waving sticks.
They're
wrong.
doing their best, Benna.
But she's okay sending them to attack
Them to-
Alderheart, but
Yeah.
not to stop fires.
And to harass civilians.
I'm sure you have an elite guard just over the ridge line.
Just over the ridge line. She, where's the word? She does have. Oh, her elite skirmishers. She's like, I do have elite skirmishers, but there are like 10 of them. That is not anything like the perch guard.
Well, that's probably not.
Well, if you
Okay.
trained up your own force over a little bit of time,
Is the perch
you
guard
could be
exclusively
supplying the
bird folk?
needs.
Yes,
Oh well,
it's
that's gotta
very
change.
racist.
Oh, that's awful. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get some. That's gotta change. You know, Benna, you're running a good camp here. Yeah. Okay, you can let me out now.
Benna. Who do you report to?
No one. I'm the leader.
No one. You're the top of this food chain
Correct.
Of everyone?
at this
Wait.
fortress.
Yes.
But there's other fortresses.
But there are more
No.
bandits.
But there are more bandits.
Yes.
But you're in a coalition
Uh huh.
of
A
equals.
bandit coalition.
Not of equals.
But
I'm-
some of them are equal with each other at the top.
But some of them are more
No.
equal than other.
I'm at the top, and then
Of
there
all
are ones-
bandits?
Yes.
Everywhere.
Uh
Whoa.
huh.
Whoa. I had no idea. The bandit queen. Okay, well yeah, let us go and we'll talk to the council. We'll do our best.
She
you wanna come-
lets you out. She
Maybe
like
you shouldn't come with
grabs
us.
the keys off of the jailer, who like just
And
keeps
this one's been doing a great job.
sitting there doing her crossword. And she lets you guys out, and she's like, it's just you two then, from Alderheart.
Oh, yeah, we're the important ones.
All right. Well, you seem like you have good heads on you.
Can I, just before we set this in stone, make an insight check and see if I believe everything that she's told us
yeah,
this whole time?
make an insight check.
Thanks.
Yeah, she seems to be telling the
Okay.
truth.
I figured. I just want to make sure she wasn't. I wasn't falling for it, and I didn't break myself in that cage.
Yep.
I feel like once I see movement in the tent, I will turn into Georgie.
'Kay.
So like I see you guys start to come out, and I'll be like, Georgie time.
It's always Georgie time.
It's always Georgie
In our
time.
hearts.
She like takes both of you and she's like, well, if you're going to go to Alderheart, I'll stop the attacks for 2 weeks, and if they want to actually send someone out to parlay, they can do that.
Is there anyone? I'm not sure if we'll make it back to here after we visit Alderheart. Is there some messenger or some trusted person you might want to come with us? Could
Oh, you
bring
can
any
take
news
you
back?
can take Bob. He used to be a male pigeon.
He used to be. Oh, okay. I did not understand the first part of that.
MAIL.
A carrier pigeon, one might say.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Where's Bob? We'll reunite Bob with Iggy and Tina.
He should be he should be in the barracks. But I guess you all haven't been there. Do you want a tour of the camp? And she like gets
No.
excited. Oh.
Yeah, I'll take a tour of the camp.
Okay. A tour of the camp it is. And she like puts her quite bulky arm on Ori and she's like, scoots you along.
She was really meant to be a tour guide, but she was thrust into a life of banditry.
Right. When her museum burned down.
Yeah.
And she shows you around. She's the larger building on the east side of the courtyard is the barracks. So they have like bunks and like a small kitchen that people can like come and take food to go, and then when they have like nicer bandit-wide dinners, they have that in the main inner keep area. But they've got like brown paper bags of lunch to goes that go for the people up on the wall.
To keep the bandits running.
Yeah, keep them running. And you see Bob, he's like in the kitchen, like assorting these paper bags. It's just like a white pigeon Luma guy.
Are you Bob?
Bob.
She's like, this is Bob. And Bob goes out loud. He's like, who are you?
Oh, Iggy told us so much about you. Tina too.
Eggy? Tina? And he was like, you met Tina?
Oh yeah,
Oh, Tina is the love of my life.
that's what she said. She said, nope, she didn't. I'll just not say that to you.
Where is she then? Did you bring her back? She's been missing for so long.
No, she's alive. She's all right.
All right.
Could be better.
And then I
But
go,
she's safe. She's very
like-
safe.
Bob, they're going to go get Tina. He's like, go get Tina? That's great. She's like, yeah, but they need someone to bring news back and potentially people back. And he's like, okay. She's like, I want that to be you. And he's like, I don't know if I can go back to Alderheart. Alderheart is not good for me. So they like,
Well,
You won't
we'll
do
be
it
there
for
to
about it.
Tina?
protect you.
You won't do it for Tina?
they
The
argue
love of
about it,
your
and
life.
and then he's like, for Tina, I'll go get Tina. Bring her back.
well, guess what? You're stuck with Iggy too, so it's a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
He
great.
agrees. He'll go with you. She gives you a tour of the rest of camp.
She
Don't
doesn't
look too
say, and this
closely
is
at the
where
armory."
my. And then she has like a door that she's hiding.
No, she does
Okay.
not show you her personal quarters, which are
that's
in.
Fair.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fair. And she's like, and this is the armory, but that's reserved only for the highest of bandits, so I won't show you that.
It's empty, so that's a good.
And she like shows you the infirmary, and she's like, and this is the infirmary, which like it's like her pride and joy, and she has healed some of the bandits, and then she's training other bandits on healing techniques and like how to use the healing kit. and make salves and various different things.
Are there any like critically ill people in there right now?
No.
Are there any ill people in there right now?
There are recovering people, but they're not like they look
Injured?
to be on the up and up. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great operation, this healing hut.
Thank you.
That was a lovely tour, but I think we'd best get going if we want to get back to Alderheart as quickly as possible. Takes like 7 days to get there, so maybe we should do a 3-week extension.
You think 3 weeks is better? Or I can do 3 weeks.
Yeah, it would take us a week to get there, and then a week to get back, and then the 2 weeks is up.
Yeah. So at least 3 weeks.
All right,
Maybe
3 weeks.
4. If it's good news on our end, how about we'll extend it to a month. Give you plenty of time to rest and recuperate, recruit new people, train
Bandits
them up,
can heal.
more elite skirmishers.
Okay, 4 weeks. That's it.
Give us plenty of time to do everything we need to do.
But if they don't come, if they don't come, make a deal and see actual change happen. I'll start the attacks again, and I'll send in Frey this time. She will not be gentle.
Okay.
Well, we'll figure it out. Sounds great. So let's go.
Georgie is just loitering in the courtyard.
A little Gerbine comes up to you like a kangaroo mouse Gerbine, and like, you want spar?
Actually, I'm trying to be Mapach of the month, so I'm waiting for Benna.
If you spar with me, then you can really impress Benna.
Okay, maybe I will.
And I go, and I attack.
Yeah, make a rapier roll attack.
Sure.
You disembowel this rat.
For Mapach of the month. Hiya!
Oh no! This little Gerbine rolled a 22, an 18 plus 4, and so they're sparring with you, and they're surprisingly skilled.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you hold your own, but you're like the Mapach disguise that you have is like not. You're trying to like make it convincing where the rapier is being held, so you have to like squat.
Yeah,
it's
I'm trying to be the right size.
Yeah, you're trying to be the right size. It is putting you at a disadvantage.
Got it. That's okay because I believe Georgie is not good at any sword play. So this only supports my character, even if it is to my disadvantage.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I give up. Oh, you're too good. I yield. You can be Gerbine of the month, but not Mapach of the month.
What is this Mapach and Gerbine of the month anyway? I've never heard of this.
It's a new thing at HR. You have to say.
Is there a servant of the month?
I think
Is there
so.
a hedge of the month? Is
I
there a
think
bird
so.
folk of the month? Because Bob will get
there
that.
is, Bob. I know, that's why it's separated into categories. Otherwise, Bob would win it all.
Wow, this is like is this the change that Benna wants?
This is the.
Wow.
Oh gosh. Okay. And I think and Bohuckle are starting to walk towards the exit. And Ori's like, well, I think maybe we need 2 guides to help get us back at least down the mountain. Was that the 2 that came with us that captured us? I mean, they did capture us, but they were very kind. I think it was Watson and oh, I don't know, some
Winston and Georgie.
Oh yes,
right.
Winston and Georgie. Whistlewar.
Georgie hears his name. And he goes,
Whistlewar.
"Georgie?"
Georgie, come here. And she like snaps.
Benna. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Georgie, I don't know why, but these to have requested you escort them.
Georgie gives a bow.
I wish never felt safer than in the hands of this here Mapach.
I would
He's
love
very
to.
disarming on multiple levels.
She's like, Winston, you have to go with Georgie too, I guess.
Very well. Is there anything you would like for me to relay to Frey?
No? I mean, I'll send her a message. That should be done imminently.
Very well. As long as it was convenient, I thought I would offer.
No, I have more convenient methods to contact her, but thank you for offering.
Fine.
That's terrifying and cryptic.
It's just a guy named Marcus Bluetail.
Dude
Bob
is
when he comes
running.
back.
Alright. The four of you are gathered together. They give you some supplies to make the journey.
That's so kind of them.
Snacks and water and fill you up on all sorts of things.
We get our box lunches from the barracks.
Mhm.
Our brown paper bag boxes.
And they send you out the portcullis. They open the
Oh
portcullis
my
and
god.
send you
A
off.
grand exit for an
Mhm.
ignominious entrance.
And as you are walking away, you hear in the distance, they're like, "Robbery! There's been a robbery!"
We start walking faster.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
And you carry on your way, headed back to Alderheart, presumably. And that is
At some
where...
point, we'll have to explain the change between Mungo and our Mapach.
Yeah, Bob is gonna be a problem. I don't know what we're
I
gonna
don't know,
do.
he
Bob's
seems pretty
fine.
dumb.
Georgie's
Yeah,
only
Bob's
supposed to
with
take you down the mountain. So once you're down the mountain, Georgie
The
disappears.
mountain is
and
2
you're
days.
2 days.
Yeah, Georgie is not to be relied upon. Georgie's like, oh, you're halfway down. Let me go. I'll leave you here. Winston
Georgie
will
goes
take
for an
care of
hour, and we mysteriously meet up with a bard.
Yeah,
chicken.
and then you know, because he knows the
Yeah.
route, you run into Mungojerry down the bridge.
Or just Georgie scouting ahead. And then so like every, I don't know, nighttime, Georgie comes back to check in for 15 minutes and then leaves. And then Mungojerry is also gone
yeah.
for those 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Or we can do it that way, whatever you want. I mean, Georgie should live forever, so I'm okay with whatever we want.
Georgie lives in our hearts. I do not think Bob would realize if Mungojerry swapped in for Georgie. I think
I
Bob
don't
is
think
so
Bob would
oblivious.
realize either.
No.
God, what's happened to the bandits, Abby? When did the state of it become this?
It has never been a good state. Benna is
Oh.
working on improvements. But she's only been
Starting with her HR initiative.
Yeah.
her HR initiatives. She needs to get Mungo in as HR, and then everything would be fixed.
Yeah.
Anyway, you all head back to Alderheart. We will do that next time. But in the meantime, you all get to level 3.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Woo! I'm scared. I didn't realize Benna was the queen of bandits. I don't know if we could have beat her in a fight.
She's pretty scary.
She looked very scary.
Yeah, she looked pretty cool. And she's obviously right. I don't know how to tell you this, Rutherford, but you've been working for the wrong people your whole life.
Well, when I worked for the bandits, they were the bad guys. When I worked for the government, they were the bad guys. I don't know what to do.
Alright, so level 3
Cool.
we will do off screen, but we can report back what everybody has chosen next time. And we'll travel back to Alderheart and see what hijinks await you as per usual. Bob can be
Riffin the Ash
reunited with Tina and Iggy. It'll be a beautiful thing. Join us next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. ish, as always. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.